What is going on YouTube and Spotify? This is the Just BSN podcast, and I know, everything looks a little different, but also familiar with my surroundings behind me because I have moved back home for a little bit to get some finances up. Because your boy, obviously, as I've said in previous episodes, I'm getting married next year, so your boy has to lock it down and be smart about his money. So, what better way to do that than move right back home? So, anyways, we have a lot to discuss, Drew. A lot of
Mhm.
good things happen, and a lot of not so good things have happened. More so in the Cleveland sports world. Um, but yeah, got quite a lot to talk about. So, we're pretty much going to start with the good old Ohio State Buckeyes, and obviously they had the big game last week, and they actually came through. Not only did they come through, but they finally got Ryan Day over that mental hurdle, that sort of hump that they just could not get over when it came to trying to beat that team up north. As the Buckeyes went into Ann Arbor on Saturday at noon and defeated the Michigan Wolverines 29-7 or 27-9. Yeah, 27-9.
27-9, yep.
27-9. See, it's all been a blur since then. I am so tired from all the moving and all the other stuff that I've been doing. But yeah, they came in, they took care of business, and I'll tell you what, poor old Bryce Underwood could not do a damn thing against this Ohio State defense, man. What did you think about the game? And more so, how was your weekend, man? I totally forgot to ask that. I always start the episode with asking, hey, how's the week been? How we feeling? But yeah, after all the good vibes, man, how we feeling?
I mean, feeling pretty good, man. The vibes are good. I mean, still feeling a little sick. I got sick over Thanksgiving break, so if you guys hear me coughing and whatnot, I apologize. I just dealing with it.
Yeah.
Got me some nice electrolyte right here so I can stay hydrated and keep this shit going. But other than that, the week's been good. If you guys don't know already, I changed my X account here on the screen because my other one got hacked. So shout out to the hacker for being a POS. I hope you get what you
trying
get
and
and
trying to
deserve.
sell used cars on your
Yeah,
account.
trying to sell used cars on my old account. So if you guys want to follow me, follow the new account. It's just the
Yes.
same name but switched around.
Yep.
But other than that, man, the week's been pretty good. It's been positive. I'm ready for tomorrow, man. I'm ready for this Ohio State Indiana game tomorrow.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
When you talk about how big of a game this could very well be game of the year. Just in general, in college football, man. Like this is literally number one versus number two. This is up there with some of the greater games that we are going to see this week
Mhm.
and really this year. Um, and I'm not gonna lie though, I don't really have a lot of nerves. Do you?
No, not at all.
It's a weird feeling because like I'm totally on board with this game being close and being like our just a genuinely good game overall. Like this should not be a blowout for either team. Should not, unless there's injuries, God forbid, or anything like that. This game should be tight and it should be exciting the whole time. And it should be a dogfight because it's the top two offenses and the top two defenses, the top two teams in college football fighting up against each other for the Big Ten title, which kind of sucks because that's the only thing they're really playing for because both
Yeah.
teams have already secured a playoff berth. But it's really going to depend on what their placements are going to be for the playoff push. The winner is going to get an automatic bye as the first seed in the whole thing anyway. And the loser may end up getting out of the top four for all we know. Like, we don't know that. We don't know how the playoff committee is going to take it because both teams have kind of had a sort of equal schedule in terms of strength of schedule. You know, we've faced a lot of the same teams and a lot of the same things have happened. The only thing that they have above us is that they played Oregon. We obviously did not, but we also faced Texas and they did not. So there's this weird kind of counterbalance. But basically every other good team that we've played, we've done some pretty good work against them. The only team that really gave us trouble was Texas, and that was week 1. Everybody struggled in week 1. Hell, Alabama lost in week 1, and yet they're a top 4, top 5 team in the the nation right now. So week 1 really doesn't count. It's really a preseason game that does count on the record, but doesn't really count overall. So I don't know, man. This game's going to be good, but I think the one thing that keeps driving me, especially as a fan, and I'm sure you've seen this, is these Indiana fans are out of their mind. Like, they are talking so much and so loudly about how they're gonna beat us by 20, and that Ohio State has no idea what's gonna happen. And it's like, dude, this is the same team that came back from the depths of hell after losing to that team up north last year at home, and then made one of the greatest generational runs in college football history.
Yeah.
This team knows adversity. This team knows how to win, and they haven't looked back since. And honestly, they're going to ride the high of landing a guy like Chris Henry Jr., who I know was committed for a long, long time, but with the news of Brian Hartline, it was up in the air. And there was a lot of guys that were sort of like, I don't know. And Ohio State still came out being top 5, top 10 in recruiting like they do every single year. And I kept telling people it's because they love Ryan Day. And we were really hard on Ryan Day last year after that loss. But I'll tell you what, man. I hope he's a Ohio State coach for the rest of our lives because of how young he is. Like, he's just proven it now. Like, he's done all the things that you need a coach like that to do. Now he's an amazing recruiter. He makes some great players and great people out of that culture. And this next class is going to come in next year. Listen, if Ohio State finds a way to repeat this year, this next class will help them three-peat. That's how good they are. Like, this is a damn good class. I know there's not as many 5-stars, but they have like 16 or 17 4-stars. That's not something to sleep on, man. Like, just because it's not flashy doesn't mean that that's not consistent. When you have 17 4-stars, which a lot of them are like 4.5, almost 5 stars, like, that says a lot about the culture. It says a lot about the team, and it says a lot about Ryan Day. So I don't know, man. Just getting back to this game, though, what is your overall vibe going into this? Like, I don't know. How do you think this game is going to go? Because, as I said, I think it's going to be close, but I also would be surprised if Ohio State still wins by double digits just because they're Ohio State and that's just what they've done.
Well, and I wouldn't be shocked if this game looked like the Michigan game too, where it's not like a massive look. Because I don't think what these Indiana fans realize is we've held pretty much all of our opponents to under double-digit points all season long.
Yeah.
Like, just because you beat a very phony number 9 Illinois team early in the season, in which Illinois really showed how phony they were, and then they beat a barely another top-ranked team
in Penn State.
Penn State.
They barely squeaked by. It was all because of the last drive.
Yeah, and that tells me something too, because they squeaked out a couple of those wins, and the only really good game they had was Oregon. I think that was the only really good game they had.
Mm-hmm. And that was still 30-20, I think, was the final score on that one.
It was a 10-point game. It was 30-20. So they've never really faced a defense like ours all season long. And I don't think they're ready for that. And I think that's what they're underestimating, is that this defense is the best defense in college football. And Julian Sane, last week against Michigan, he threw his first drive was a pick. That kid went perfect right after that, damn near. Like, he went damn near perfect, and it was like, that kid never made a mistake ever again. And I kind of hope that Julian Sane did what Will Howard did last year and pretend to put out a cigarette, because I don't know why everyone's so hyped about Kurt Signetti, because he did the same thing last year where he came to the Ohio State game, was talking all this crap, and was like, "Oh, we're gonna beat the crap out of them," and then we blew them out.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you guys really trying to do this again? Like, do you guys really want the same outcome? Like, we'll blow you out like we did against Michigan. We'll blow you out like some of these other teams we played. Like, we will make sure you guys suffer. And I hope Saiyan does the cigarette thing again because that was hilarious, and that'd be funny if he did it again. And I don't know what confidence Indiana fans have because they haven't beat us in like was it 40 years?
It's been a long time.
I think this saying is like Indiana hasn't beaten Ohio State in like 40 years or something, and I hope if that's true, like that's insanity. I think it is true, but it's just to be certain. It's like 30 or 40 years or something.
It was October 10th of 1987.
So it was about 38 years ago.
Yeah, so almost 40 years ago.
About 40 years it's been since Indiana has last beaten Ohio State in a football game. So I don't know what they're so hyped about because I could see that ass kicking continue.
I mean, look, I understand fans are
excited.
excited and they're confident because they've been good and they've beaten some good teams. But again, when they face good competition,
it was close.
It's been close. So it's not like they're unbeatable. Like they could have very well lost to Penn State when they didn't lose. Like Mendoza just put down an incredible drive. And if he ends up winning the Heisman, it's because of that drive.
Yeah.
Exactly. But to go back on what you said about Julian saying, like after that first pick, man, he settled right in. And I think it just shows his maturity level, even as a freshman, a guy that's gotten to sit a little bit and then just play better and better and better every game. And listen, you can't expect his completion percentage to stay at 80%, but it's still above like 75 or 76, I think. Like it's still up there. He is still throwing the ball really, really well. And even in tough conditions, man, as a Cali kid, like that kid didn't play in those types of conditions in high school. And even when he was at Bama, it wasn't like he was playing in that either. Like, he's not used to that. And yet he came in and played really, really well while you saw a guy like Bryce Underwood struggle. I mean, he struggled to get the ball out. And that's why he only passed, I think, for like 60-something yards. Like he was literally non-existent. The only thing that they had going was their run game, and that was the first 2 or 3 drives. And then beyond a few more plays, they just couldn't find it. And, say what you want about the the other offense and sort of the way it works, but the defense is always going to be the hero, and the offense is more of like the closer, just because of having guys like Jeremiah Smith and Tate to be able to just hit you deep. I mean, listen to Jeremiah Smith, 4th and 5, and you throw a stop and go to him. Like that's the only guy you're doing that to. That's the only guy that you trust on a 4th down play to not only get you 5 yards, but get you a touchdown. Now, I know there was a little bit of controversy with him, and if he didn't have full, possession of it, I don't think it was enough to really overturn it, and that's why they didn't, in my opinion. Again, college rules are definitely different, especially when it comes to at least having 1 foot in. So who knows what at play made them determine that it didn't do anything. But, you get, Tate back, and he has not only just the deep shot he had, but he was so crucial on 3rd down. Like he was doing the same routes and getting the first down every single time you threw to him. So you're building more and more trust with these guys. I think Bo Jackson had 4 or 5 solid catches out of the backfield for another 60 yards receiving, ran the ball exceptionally well again. Like this team just has guys that you can hand the ball off to and just let them make plays. And when you have a quarterback that's I mean, I loved Will Howard last year, but Julian Sain's a lot better than Will Howard. Like, let's make that very, very clear. And he's only a freshman. Just give him one more year. Julian Sain is going to be a Heisman freak show next year, and he's going to have to go up against a better Arch Manning, and whoever else is going to stay in school that's going to play through this year. So,
Yeah.
dude, I'm just really excited for this game. I'm really excited that it's just such a huge matchup, and it gives the Big Ten title game like more of an umph, because every time we've been into it, anytime they've gotten to the Big Ten title, it's always been against like a Nebraska or a Wisconsin or a Northwestern, where they were good that year, but they get mollywopped by the third quarter because they ran out of juice, and Ohio State finally got something going. And I don't know if that's how that game is going to play out this year, but Ohio State has the ability to just turn on the burners and just go, go, go. And that's how they beat you. So it's going to be very, very intriguing to see how this whole game plays out throughout the game.
Yeah, no, it's going to be super interesting. And, Julian Sain might even just win a Heisman this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely close to it.
Yeah, like if he plays well, I guarantee you, if he plays well in this game and makes a run in the football playoffs, that kid's a Heisman winner.
Yeah.
And like you said, he'll probably win it again next year, and the year after that if he stayed.
Yeah.
Like, this kid's unreal, and I want to go back to this defense too, because we held Bryce Young to 60 receiving or passing yards. It was like 63 passing yards. We held Marshall to 60 rushing yards, all while saying threw for like 240 with 3 touchdowns. Bo Jackson was the biggest star in that game.
Yeah.
120 rushing yards for Bo Jackson in that game. 100, and every year they talk about the game. They talk about who's going to win the rush game, because usually whoever wins the running game wins that football game.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson did it by himself.
Yeah, dude, especially in that fourth quarter, like he was truly the closer.
Yeah,
he really was.
And that's the thing too. Like, I think he could be the same exact thing against Indiana, because I don't know how good Indiana's rushing defense is, but if it's worse than what Michigan's was, that kid's gonna have a field day. And I think the Ohio State offense is gonna have to. If for me, for the game tomorrow, it's more so if the Ohio State rushing game can get going early, Julian Sain's gonna have no problem just flying the ball to Smith and Carnell Tate all day long either. And it's just gonna be one of those nightmare shows that Indiana does not want.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually look up Indiana's defensive rankings, just to see, like,
trying to do too.
Like, just to see. So they're second nationally, averaging only giving up 79 yards per game, and they're fourth nationally in total defense. So, which Ohio State is they have Ohio State listed as number 3, and Texas Tech and Oklahoma as 1 and 2.
Interesting.
But this is just for rushing, though. This isn't total defense. This is just
right.
rushing.
Right, that's true.
So Michigan, I forget where they were, but I'm not gonna.
I don't think they were as high as they have been.
They were 13th.
Yeah, they were not quite as high as they have been, because last year they were, obviously really, really good with Graham. And not having a guy like him, like, that's going to hurt your defense, obviously.
For sure. So I will say that that Indiana, like, they have to have an insane defensive performance, and Mendoza's got to follow it up with a great offensive performance, because it takes what, I guess, Ohio State, especially this Ohio State team this year, one screw up, it's game over. Like, one pick, one fumble, and it's over. You're done. You buried yourself.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you cannot make a single mistake against this Ohio State team. Otherwise, it is just game over.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to look forward to on tomorrow. Is will Indiana make that mistake? Will Mendoza kind of choke it under pressure against a real team, or is he going to step up and actually play ball?
Right.
And will their defense go up and play ball? And yeah, I mean, I'm excited, dude. This is probably going to be game of the year for college football for sure.
100%.
Yeah, so I'm ready. That's all I really got for Ohio State. I'm just ready for tomorrow. Like 8:00 can't come soon enough tomorrow.
Yeah. And listen, dude, the only last thing that I really want to say about this game is these Indiana fans, y'all gotta chill. All right. If you guys win, okay, like that's fine. Like it is what it is. But if you guys lose, please retract the statements that you have been making all week long, because it has been wild, and that is one of the reasons why I know this game's gonna be close, but I want Ohio State to beat them up just to shut their fans up, because Cignetti has given them this just vote of confidence and this attitude that I have not seen out of a team that was literally a 2-win team just like 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
So pipe down a little bit. Understand where you came from. Understand that, you haven't been here before. And now you're going to be on the big stage. Let's see how your buddy Mendoza does. And if he plays well, he plays well. But I'm telling you what, Julian Sand's going to be ready to go. Like that dude has ice in his veins. And if I'm going to be confident in anybody, it's going to be that kid. So just saying, we have warned you. Don't be surprised when things don't go your way. All that I'm going to say on that.
And just 2 years ago, they were a 3-win football team.
Yeah, like they were talked about as being like one of the worst teams in college football at that time. Like it wasn't like they were not good by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm looking at it right now. The University of Akron took Indiana to 4 overtimes.
Oh, that's right. I remember that game too.
Yeah, just 2 years ago. Akron lost 29-27 against Indiana. In Indiana, by the way.
I think we actually were recording during that game too. Like we were like watching it ourselves live.
Yeah.
But like, also recording, and we were like, dude, Indiana is going to lose this game. Like this is wild.
Yeah.
So it's just just understand like what the dynamic of this game looks like, and at least show a little bit of respect to the team and program that has literally run the Big Ten for well over at least the last decade or so. I mean, it's not like this has been rocket science. Ohio State has been a force for many, many years.
Yeah, and they just need to humble it just a little bit, because they almost lost to. I'm looking at their schedule. They only won 20-15 against Iowa. They won by 10 against Oregon. I mean, they took a game-winning drive against Penn State. They only beat Old Dominion 27-14. Like they were, for a while in that Old Dominion game, they were struggling. So.
Right.
Now you face a real test against the big dogs of Ohio State, and can you hang with it?
Right. Exactly. Can you hang with it? Because I mean, I don't know, man. I really don't know.
It's a little worrying.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll obviously see how that game goes. But we still got a little bit to talk about when it comes to the Browns. And apparently, at least from my perspective, every time we put Shedeur's name in our title, our views go up.
It does.
So
that's why I put it in our little title right now.
So that's why, respectfully, guys, Shedeur is going to stay in our title, even though we are totally going to talk about Ohio State way, way more. But the Browns obviously took on the 49ers, and they started out the game actually pretty decent. Like it was not a bad game going into halftime. But again, special teams mistakes, and overall just a lack of preparation once again from the boogeyman, aka Kevin Stefanski. This guy cannot get this team ready to go to save their life. Like they can't do it for more than 1 week now. In just a few years ago, we were talking about this guy not losing back-to-back games since he started coaching, and now that seems like that's all he does is lose back-to-back games, and he doesn't stop losing because the team is awful, and not all of that is his fault, but a coach named Mike Pettin once won games with the Browns, a roster that had, I would say, arguably a worse quarterback and a worse receiver room than we do right now. And they were much older of a receiver room than we do now. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, worse coaches have done better with worse rosters.
Yep.
Like, we've had some really brutal rosters over the years, man. It's not like we have always had solid guys, like solid Pro Bowl guys, besides like a Joe Thomas. We have not had a lot of that over the years, but over the last, I would say, decade or so, it's gotten a little better. But really, it's been more like the last 7 years. It's really since we got Miles. It's when everything started to slowly progress. And yet these coaches cannot do a damn thing. And you just wonder where it went wrong. You do. You wonder where it went wrong, and then you remember, you traded like 4 first-round picks for a quarterback that has played less games than he does SA charges, and passed for less touchdowns than he has SA charges, and somehow still married, and also just got taken off the. He's in his 21-day practicing window to potentially play again this season, which I knew was going to happen at some point, especially with how this, this season has gone. If we were winning, I think you would have seen Watson be able to take the back seat and not come back at all. And then you're talking about just cutting him. Now, I hate to say this, man, but you might say Watson next year just because of how bad of a situation we are in and how much money we still have tied into him. It's almost like it's just inevitable. Like, we have no way of escaping this guy. He is probably going to come back. You're going to use your picks to get better linemen, more receivers and all that, which is smart. But then you got to deal with Watson for 1 more year and probably have Shedeur be your backup. And there you go. There's a team, I guess, for 2026 and 2027 NFL season. I've lost hope at this point. Like, I'm just ready for this season to be done. But Shedeur didn't play that bad. Didn't play that great. I mean, he regressed a little bit, but not so badly. I don't think Stefanski really gave him enough chances to prove himself. And then once he did, it was too little too late. I mean, you're putting him in like 3rd and 15, and he's got to go make a play as a rookie. Like, it's just not happening. Like, he is who he is. He makes the mistakes that he does make because he's still raw. He still needs to get better with his footwork. He still needs to be able to read the defense better. And Shedeur knows that. Like he's not inept at the fact that that's a problem for him. And I guess that's the one sort of positive with that is he's very self-aware and he does want to get better. But he just has no freaking help on offense, and it's only getting worse because guys are now starting to drop like flies. Like, it's that time of the year where random guys are going to start getting hurt because they're starting to check out. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm sure you're kind of feeling like how I am, but we at least have a winnable game this week. What do you expect? Do you think we even got a chance? And really, should we be a 1-win Titans team? Like, I think we should, but question is, will we?
I mean, I have a feeling we will, and like you said, we should. I mean, for a game like this, it's just play competent football.
Yeah,
that's all you have to do. Is just play competent. Shedeur, once again, didn't make mistakes against the 49ers, which, hey, he did well. Again, I think he was like 17 of like 24 or 25 or something passing. I mean, I have the stats right here. 16 to 25 for 150 yards and a touchdown. Had a 93 rating, which was better than Brock Purdy. And he took 3 sacks, but I mean, 2 of those were like, you saw them. They were at the end of the game. They were just 2 quick end of the game sacks. So those weren't really his fault. He was just looking downfield just to try and make something happen.
Yeah.
So once again, he took 1 sack in reality. And I think what you need to do in this game, because it's going to be cold. I don't know how much wind there is going to be, but again, this is a game where you make Judkins run for another 20 carries. Let Judkins kind of just do the work.
Yeah.
Get you downfield and whatnot. And just, you know what? If Shedeur does throw a lot, I think it's just get receivers open, allow him to just, again, do what he does best. And, you know, I thought Shedeur looked pretty good.
All right.
Against the 49ers, he made some good throws. The one that he had to Judy, I mean, yeah, he missed him on the inside, but then when he lobbed it over, I think it was just carried by the wind. That's what the announcers and what a lot of people are saying, including guys like Chase Daniels and other former quarterbacks who do evaluation videos on YouTube now since they're retired from football. They also said the same things like, oh, the wind was just heavy, so it probably carried that ball a little bit further. And I just want to say this to Jerry Jeudy. I don't know what type of attitude you have right now to be going up to your quarterback and talking and, you know, trying to like yell at him for no reason. Because I know your ass right now should not be talking when you're the league leader in drops. Like, oh, yes, you're open, but what makes you think you're not going to drop the football anyways?
Yeah.
I don't have faith in him to throw it to you because he could throw you the perfect ball and you're still going to drop it. So you're the last person to be screaming at your quarterback about, hey, I'm open. Why didn't you hit me here? And if I was Shedeur, I'd be like, listen, probably because you can't catch. Like, if you caught the football, I might be a little bit more non-hesitant to throw it like to you in the window like that.
Right.
But right now, your ass can't catch a cold right now.
No.
So don't come to the quarterback and yell at him when you can't catch a football to save your life. Like, that's the thing I want to say to him. But I thought Shedeur did well. Obviously, Judkins was Judkins. The defense, again, the bright and shining star of the 49ers game. Because we did not lose because of the defense. We lost because of the special teams. 3 fumbles by Gage Lavardian. I mean, yeah, he recovered 2 because he was just right on top of it. And then he muffed that huge one.
Mm-hmm.
But the loss was mostly on special teams and on Kevin Stefanski because it blows my mind why you would go for it on 4th and 1 on your own 30-yard line.
Yeah.
Knowing damn well if you don't make it, they have the shortest field position. And yet Ethan Pochich couldn't even snap the ball to Harold Fannin. And it was the worst thing I've seen ever. I was like, and this is why you don't go for it on 4th down in your own territory.
In your own territory, and not only that, you decide that a rookie tight end is going to be the one that takes a direct snap instead of just having Shedeur do it, or hey, just do your wildcat.
Yeah, just have
you know that's going to work.
Well, I think they did that for the first 4th and 1, and it didn't work, and so I think he went away from it. But I know a lot of people
just not go for it.
Yeah. Well, and I know a lot of people were like, well, Tommy Rees is the one who called plays, so it was Tommy Rees's fault they went for it on 4th down. I was like, no, because it's Kevin Stefanski's idea to go for it on 4th and 1. Because Stefanski goes, hey, Tommy, we're going for it. Get a play ready.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Rees, and if Tommy Rees had any say, he'd be like, why, we're on our own 30-yard line. Why don't we just punt?
Mm-hmm.
You know, pin them back to their, like, 10-yard line or something. No, Kevin's dumb as hell and wants to go for it on 4th and 1 on the 30-yard line. And guess what happens? He missed it, and they went and scored a touchdown. That started to put the game away. Mind you, It was 10-8 at that time with 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter when he did that. You're down by 2.
Yeah.
Just punt the ball away. Don't get
Punt the
cute. Why are you
ball away.
getting cute? Just punt
Let
the
your
ball.
defense do what it has all game long.
Yes.
Because San Fran only scored when they were like within our like 35, 40 yard line.
Yeah, in good field position.
Yeah, every time too.
Yeah. Like it makes no sense why. And the thing is, again, this year we've held Christian McCaffrey to absolutely 0. Like McCaffrey had 20 carries for 50 yards.
Yeah, like that's not a good game by McCaffrey at all. That's a bad game.
He had 4 catches for 20. He had 70 total yards.
Yeah.
Which every time he plays the Browns he is the worst when it comes to playing against the Cleveland Browns because he knows the Browns defense is actually the best he sees all season when he does play against us. And this is a game and a team you take advantage of when their best player is not doing anything.
No.
Like it's crazy. Like, and then you leave Kittle for 2 plays wide open on both, mind you. Well, one Kittle made a good play by making an insane catch.
Yeah,
that one I can't be mad at because I think it was a 4th down play and Kittle just made a really good catch and it was just a good defended ball by I think it was Tyson Campbell on it. So I can't blame Campbell on that. He defended it well, like because it was the one where Kittle caught it and it looked like Tyson like batted it away, but Kittle was down before the ball was swatted away. Like that's just insane by George Kittle.
Yeah,
but that's what he does. That's just what he does. That's George Kittle-esque. But you held McCaffrey to nothing. That leaves them vulnerable for you to go down and just just take advantage of it. And against teams like the 49ers, I'm sorry, Kevin, but you don't need to go for every 4th and 1 when you're inside their territory. Just kick the field goal. Just take the points. Because if you took them the points earlier, well, again, when it was 10-8, or no, it was 8-7, we made it down to their side again, screwed up on the first 4th and 1. And if you had kicked it, it would have been 11-7. And even when they went down and kicked the field goal, you're still up by 1. It's still 11-10. You're still winning. No, let's just go for it. Oh, we didn't make one single 4th down. Like, what are we doing, boys? If you're not gonna make it on 4th down, then just stop going for it. Stop going for it. How about for the rest of the season, we stop going for it on 4th down?
Yeah.
Just take the points. I mean, also too, why the hell are we punting on their 20-yard line? That made no sense to me either. It's like, dude, Kevin is giving me a massive headache.
I think he wants, like I think he's like forcing his way to get fired because he knows. I think so too. And why do you think the news came out? What was it yesterday? About like, teams are basically just frothing at the mouth, waiting for him to, to get fired. Fired because they want him so damn badly. It's like, all right, if you do that, go ahead and trade for him. Then fuck it.
Yeah,
under contract. If you really don't want him, trade for him, and then just go hire, Schwartz, and then just elevate everybody, and then do what you got to do. But like, this team is just it's a joke. It's a joke, and Kevin Stefanski is the one that's leading the pack.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I just don't see him surviving the season. Like I can't do it.
I think he's purposely choking games.
I think he is too. And here's the thing. If these people really think that he's going to be great, that's fine. And maybe he might be great somewhere else. That's fine. But it's not going to be here. So why waste the time? Why waste the time? Go find somebody that's going to actually develop these players. Because I'm under the firm belief that Kevin Stefanski cannot develop his players correctly, preferably his offense. I even wrote in my notes, when you look at the differences between the offense and the defense has gotten either better or stayed consistently good throughout his tenure. And it got better with Schwartz. Under Kevin Stefanski, every year it gets worse and worse and worse and more boring. And we continue to have different OCs, different QB coaches, but still somehow keep the same receivers coach. Don't know why we still have Chad O'Shea here. And yet the same issues keep happening and nobody wants to change it. So at this point, what are we doing? We're just wasting time. We're wasting money. We're wasting energy. This team is just not a team that I foresee sticking together like this. I see this next off season being an off season where we're going to see some changes made to that staff, some big changes. And all I hope is that Schwartz is the one that at least gets to stay if he has the other option to. But dude, if a team like Pittsburgh fires Tomlin, dude, go send him a blank check. Say, Tomlin, we could use you as our shift in culture.
You kicked our ass for years.
Like you literally know what you're doing. You're a solid coach. Let's give you a young talent and let's go freaking do this thing with this nasty defense. And he'd probably be all freaking about it. But yet here we are. We're in the same boat as we are in every single year. And that's why I don't really have energy right now, because I'm just, like, when I talk about the Browns, I don't have optimism like I did. And I'm starting to become more and more like Daryl Rader every day. It pains me to say that, but he's so pessimistic about this team. I understand why. It's hard to be truly positive about a team that hasn't proven anything. They have 5 or 6 wins in 2 seasons. Like, that's just not, it's not cutting it. The only value you're getting out of that is you're getting top picks, but again, at what cost? You're wasting years out of Myles Garrett's career when he is going to breach 20 sacks, and he very well should and hopefully will break the sack record. And that's going to be the only positive thing about this season, is that and seeing the Rooks do well. That's it. That's the only thing positively you can take out of the season. And that's not going to sell you seats. Why do you think tickets are going for less than $10 a pop as nosebleeds right now?
It's $7 for Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
$7 for Sunday.
Like I said, it's below $10 for nosebleeds, and I'm sure even for good seats, it's probably around like 100, maybe. Like, I really feel bad for season ticket holders that paid hundreds of dollars for their seats per game, and now they get to see seats literally depreciate because of how bad the scene in this season is.
Oh yeah,
it's pathetic.
It's frustrating.
It's so pathetic and it's so frustrating. What I would give to just never have Jimmy Haslam ever buy this team. Like, if I could go back in time and do one thing, it wouldn't be to kill Hitler. It wouldn't be to stop the Twin Towers from going down. It would literally be Jimmy Haslam refusing to buy the Cleveland Browns and have anybody else buy them, because he has been a train wreck since he bought this team.
I'd rather kept Ray Farmer.
Yeah. Well,
Ray Farmer was a GM, but
yeah, he was a GM.
But I'd rather kept him over Andrew Berry. But no,
just so many mistakes.
Yeah, no, I'm just tired of the Haslams, dude. The only thing they did well was save the Columbus Crew, and that's the only thing they did well.
Yeah, and even then they're trying to screw up a little bit from what you've been telling me. So
yeah. Well, our manager left for Celtic, so he left for the Scottish League. Mm-hmm. Which deserving, because Monty was the best manager in MLS, so he kind of deserved it, and he's still young. Right. But yeah, they traded away our couple best players over the last couple of years, and shout out Jimmy Haslam for being what he is.
Yeah, always putting the smartest guys in the room, right?
Yeah. All right, man. You ready for some predictions?
Yeah, man. I'm ready for some predicts, and then to get off and try to enjoy my Friday night. That's what I'm ready for.
Let's do it, man. All right. So we already had we're recording this on Friday. We both had Detroit winning, and they did, over the Cowgirls. So we're just going to move on from that game and just go straight to the 1:00 games, which we're gonna start off with Seattle at Atlanta.
Seattle should win this game. I do think Atlanta will do a little bit better of a job against Seattle just because they still have Bijan, but they still don't have Drake London. He's out again, which hurts my fantasy team so badly. But Seattle is just too much right now. Seattle should beat them somewhat convincingly.
Yeah, I agreed, and I went with Seattle too. They should be able to just win this game convincingly, even on the road. Up next, we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Tennessee Titans.
I'm going Browns because we are at home. Tennessee has been atrocious this season.
Yeah.
But if Tennessee beats us, it's going to be a horrible next week after that. So I'm just praying to the gods that we don't have to deal with this. The football gods, please do not let the Browns lose to a 1-win Titans team. The only thing that's going to be fun is Shedeur versus Ward. That's it.
Yeah, that's going to be the only real fun thing about this game is Shedeur versus Ward. I also went with Cleveland and praying to God that we actually win this game and not lose. I mean, we are playing the worst team in football in Tennessee, so
Miles should have like 4 sacks this game.
Miles should be able to tie the sack record in this game.
Yeah.
Up next, we have Washington at Minnesota.
Talk about a really rough game to watch in general. Like Minnesota has been horrible lately. And Washington is getting a little bit better. Even with Mariota, they're still playing enough. Scary Terry's back. He's healthy. I'm gonna go Washington because I just do not trust Minnesota. I don't trust McCarthy. They are at home, so that is somewhat of an advantage. I think this will be a closer game. Like I do think the Vikings will give a better effort, but I just don't trust them. So I'm going Washington.
Yeah, I went with Washington too, and I saw the news that Jaden Daniels should be back for this game.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So that's why I'm leaning Washington. Is that Jaden Daniels should be back, and like you said, Minnesota has just been struggling hardcore lately. So I will take Washington on the road. Up next, we got Cincinnati at Buffalo.
I am gonna go Buffalo because they are at home, but this might be a absolute shootout. The Bengals are healthy on offense, so they're getting T back. They have Jamar. They obviously have Burrow. They played great last week. Man, I'm only getting the Bills this game because they are at home. Beyond that, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals pull off an upset here and win that game, but I'm going Bills.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I went with the Bills just for the fact that they're at home and that's it. I mean, like you said, this is going to be a predicted shootout. It's going to be a fun game to watch, but I'm going Buffalo just for the sole sake that they're at home. Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
This is also a weird game because Lamar has been playing horribly. Rodgers looks old. I'm gonna pick Baltimore because I just don't like Pittsburgh in general. I think Lamar will finally actually put together a better game, and they may end up deciding to finally do what's right and give Derrick Henry some insane amount of carries to kind of take the weight off his shoulders, because that's what they got to do to win games like that. So going the Ravens just because they are at home.
Yeah, I went with the Ravens just for the fact that they're at home. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to come back in this game.
I think he's playing.
Okay. I didn't know. That's why I also picked Baltimore because I was unsure if Aaron Rodgers was playing or if it was going to be Mason Rudolph again.
Yeah.
But I'd rather trust the Ravens at home. This has been an awful year for the Ravens, actually.
Yeah, it's been terrible. I mean, really for the entire AFC North.
Yeah. So I'll take Baltimore at home. Miami at the Jets.
The Jets have been playing better. And so is Miami. You know what? I'm going Jets upset.
Okay. I went with Miami.
Smart.
Yeah, I need some wins here, so I went with Miami. Of course I'm probably gonna be wrong too, but New Orleans at Tampa Bay.
Me and Tampa Bay should win this game. They're at freaking home. New Orleans is playing better, but it's still the Saints. Like they don't have a lot. Yeah, Tampa Bay should win this game.
Yeah, I went with Tampa Bay too. I did hear something about Mike Evans might be back this week. So
That would be intriguing.
yeah, so there's a chance that Mike Evans, as a Mike Evans fantasy owner in our dynasty league that we're in together, Mike Evans could potentially be back this week. So that would be huge for Baker to have him back as a wide receiver. But yeah, I just went with them because they're at home.
Right.
Although, like you said, Tyler Schaff has made the Saints look a lot better, though. Indianapolis at Jacksonville.
This is a very interesting one. I'm actually going to go Jacksonville because they're at home. Indiana Jones is a little banged up. And they really haven't been using Jonathan Taylor lately. Like it's been really shocking how great he played at the start of this year, and he has just been non-existent for the past month. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why they're getting away from it. That's the only way that they're going to win this game is if they get back to Jonathan Taylor getting 30 carries. But I think Jacksonville's going to do it.
I went with the Colts just for the fact that with not Ryder, but Daniel Jones being a little bit beat up, I think they are forced to start using the run game in this football game. So I do think you're going to see a lot of Jonathan Taylor in this game.
Yeah.
Denver at Vegas.
I mean Denver.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I went with Denver too, just because Denver.
The Raiders suck.
The Raiders. According to this Fox NFL Week 14, this is game of the week. It'll be Bears at Green
Bay. I mean, this is a good game.
This is a good game.
This is a good game. I'm gonna go Green Bay because they are at home, but it wouldn't surprise me if Chicago pulls out the upset. But I know they are not going to have Rome at Dunze, which is going to hurt that offense. I don't know how much it'll hurt them, but it will hurt them. So because of that, literally only that, I think that's why Green Bay wins this game. But it's going to be a close one.
I went with Green Bay because I like what I saw on Thanksgiving against Detroit.
Yeah.
And if that's the level that Green Bay can play at for the rest of the season, they're going to be a tough team to beat for the rest of the year, including the playoffs. So I like Green Bay at home as well. But I could see Chicago upsetting them. The Rams at Arizona.
Rams are going to get back to business. I know they lost to Carolina last week. Obviously, Stafford had a rough game. I don't see that staying this week. I think the Rams get back to business and beat the Cardinals pretty convincingly because even though the Cardinals are able to put up some points and throw for a lot of yards like Brissett has, it's not really doing a lot because their defense is atrocious right now. It's bad.
Yeah, that's why I went the Rams too. The Cardinals defense is horrible.
Yeah.
So I went with the Rams because, like you said, I feel like that game against Carolina was a big fluky game for the Rams. And I think they just go back to business and just decimate the Cardinals. This is going to be a fun one too. Houston at KC.
Yeah, this is going to be a real fun one. I'm picking Kansas City because they're at home, and this is a must-win for them. They are fighting for a literal playoff spot at this point. They have not played well enough. Houston has been playing better. Kansas City has to win this game if they want to get into the playoffs. So I'm going Kansas City because they are at home. But low-key rooting for Houston.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Houston, but I picked Kansas City for this game just because, like you said, it's a must-win for them, and they have to win. Otherwise, they're pretty much dusted.
Yeah.
Like, it's very much a must-win for Kansas City at home. And if not, there's going to be a lot of worries that they might miss out on the playoffs. And then the last Monday night game, we have the Eagles at the Chargers.
This is an interesting one. I know it sounds like Herbert is still going to be able to play. Although his non-throwing hand is going to be a little messed up. It just got some surgery. So not sure. I know Hampton's going to be back. And I know the Eagles won't have Jalen Carter, which is going to hurt them. But I still actually think the Eagles are going to win this game. But this is going to be a weird game. And just with how bad they've been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers somehow pull it out. But the Eagles do just have better talent. They are supposed to have the better talent. And I think they get back to square one and they win this game.
Yeah, I think the Eagles push their way into a win in this game.
Yeah.
But I could see it being a really, really good game.
You're probably right though about the tush push. They'll probably use it like 10 times.
Yeah, until they ban it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all we have for the Week 14 pick'ems.
Yes, sir.
Again, we have our sponsor, Effortless Wins, for sports betting advice and plays to boost your wins. Talk to Tony or Greg. Links will be in the description on Spotify and the comments on YouTube. Because you know what? It's almost Christmas time.
Yeah.
We got a couple more weeks till Christmas time. So for some last second gifts, man, it's time to start betting. I mean, college basketball is in full swing now. NHL is still in full swing. I know NFL is kind of wrapping up in a couple weeks. So what are you going to bet on? Well, you got college basketball. You got some NHL hockey. So there's plenty to bet on. You still got college football going until January. So still a lot to bet on. Still a lot of time to make some money, especially before the holidays. So talk to Tony and Greg. Let them make you some Christmas money.
Hell yeah. And they will. Trust me.
They will.
If you do it right, you will. 100%. Yeah. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much going to do it. I know it wasn't a very energetic one, between him being sick and me just being exhausted this week after all the moving that I've done. The room will look a little bit better as I, progress, but a lot of the clutter is on the other side, thankfully. But yeah, man, that is going to do it for us. Obviously, we will have more news on the OSU game and everything that sort of happened there, and we'll go over the playoff. If we get the chance to get the playoff committee's standings by then, we will go over that. And then obviously we'll go over some Browns, and we'll see how the Cavs are doing as well, because the Cavs have been struggling a little bit. We don't know what's going on with them. They played tonight, a lot of injuries still to kind of get through. So they're kind of in a weird spot where, we understand why they're struggling, but it still sucks as Cavs fans to see them, get beat by the Blazers.
Yeah.
By 12 on your home court when they're shooting 53s. It's a lot as a Cavs fan to handle right now, but I think it's just because everything else has not been great that the Cavs were the one savior, and we're like, oh crap, we're going through it. But injuries, things are happening. So it is what it is, but we'll have more news on that as well. And, we'll see what else happens amidst the next week. So until then, we'll see y'all next time.